Jeriah's Hidden Struggle, a story of a chosen one's battle against lust. 1. The anointing of Jeriah. In the days when Israel was without a righteous judge, the Lord raised up a mighty man named Jeriah, son of Pethuel, from the tribe of Judah. He was a man of great strength, skilled in battle, wise in counsel, and filled with the Spirit of the Lord. From his youth, Jeriah had shown an unusual devotion to God. He spent his nights in prayer, seeking wisdom, and his days learning the laws of Moses. One night, as Jeriah knelt before the altar of the Lord, a great light filled the chamber, and the voice of the Lord spoke to him, saying, "Jeriah, my servant, I have chosen thee to lead my people. Thou shalt be a shepherd to Israel, a judge among the nations, and my mouthpiece unto this generation. Walk before me in purity, and let thine heart be steadfast, for many shall look unto thee. But beware, for sin croucheth at the door, and the desires of the flesh seek to ensnare even the mightiest among my chosen." Jeriah trembled at the voice of the Lord but bowed his head in obedience, saying, "Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. Strengthen me, that I may walk in thy ways all my days." And so the Lord anointed Jeriah, and from that day forward, his name was feared among the enemies of Israel. He led his people into great victories, delivered them from their oppressors, and restored the worship of the one true God. The people of Israel revered him, and the nations spoke of his wisdom and power. Yet even as he walked in the favor of the Lord, a hidden battle raged within his soul, one that no man could see. 2. The seed of temptation. Years passed, and Jeriah continued to lead Israel in righteousness. He judged the people with wisdom and walked in the ways of the Lord. But within his heart, he carried a burden he could not share, a secret struggle with lust. The first time he felt its pull was in his youth. As a young man, he had admired the beauty of the daughters of Israel, but he had kept his desires in check, fasting and praying for strength. Yet as he grew in power and honor, his heart became weary of constant war and responsibility. One evening, after a long day of judging disputes among the people, Jeriah walked upon the walls of his house, seeking rest for his soul. As he gazed upon the city, his eyes fell upon a woman bathing by the river, her form illuminated by the light of the setting sun. The sight stirred something deep within him. His heart pounded, and he turned away, yet the image remained burned in his mind. That night, as he lay upon his bed, temptation whispered to him, "Thou art the Lord's anointed. He hath given thee power over Israel. What harm is there in one moment of pleasure? Doth not the kings of the nations take what they desire?" Jeriah clenched his fists and cried out, "Depart from me, O wicked thoughts! Shall I sin against my God?" But the battle had begun. 3. The snare of the flesh. Though Jeriah continued to serve the Lord faithfully, he found himself struggling with impure thoughts. The more he tried to resist, the stronger the temptation became. He avoided walking upon the city walls at sunset. He turned his eyes away when beautiful women passed by. He fasted and prayed, seeking deliverance. Yet still, his mind betrayed him in the quiet moments. The enemy whispered, "Thou hast conquered nations, yet thou canst not conquer thine own heart." One night, Jeriah sought the counsel of Eliab, an elder priest of the temple, known for his wisdom. With a heavy heart, Jeriah confessed, "O man of God, my soul is weary with battle, yet it is not the sword of the enemy that troubles me, but the war within my own flesh. I have walked in righteousness before the Lord, yet my heart is tempted by desires that I cannot share. How shall a man conquer that which lies within him?" Eliab looked upon him with great compassion and said, "My son, the struggle thou bearest is not thine alone. Even the mightiest men of God have wrestled with the desires of the flesh. Knowest thou not of David, the man after God's own heart, who fell into sin by the sight of a woman? The enemy seeketh to devour thee, but he that confesseth his weakness before God shall be made strong. Flee from that which enticeth thee, and fill thy heart with the word of the Lord. Only by the Spirit of God can a man overcome the flesh." Jeriah wept before the Lord and renewed his commitment to walk in purity. He increased his time in prayer, sought the presence of God daily, and placed safeguards in his life. For a season, the temptation grew weaker, and he walked in victory. But the enemy does not easily surrender. 4. The fall and redemption. One fateful evening, as Jeriah rode through the outskirts of the city, he saw the woman by the river once more. This time, she looked upon him and smiled. At that moment, a choice stood before him, to flee as Joseph fled from Potiphar's wife or to indulge in what his flesh desired. His heart pounded. The warnings of Eliab rang in his ears, but the whispers of temptation grew louder. Thou art weary, Jeriah. What harm is there in a moment's comfort? Doth not every man have needs? And Jeriah hesitated. That night, he gave into his weakness. Guilt consumed him in the morning. The presence of the Lord felt distant. His prayers became heavy, and his spirit grew troubled. He tried to go about his duties, but his heart was burdened. For days, Jeriah walked in silence, hiding his sin. The same voice that once tempted him now condemned him. Thou art unworthy to lead. The Lord shall cast thee away. But the Lord, in his mercy, spoke to Jeriah's heart. Return unto me, my servant. For though thou hast stumbled, my grace is greater than thy weakness. A broken and contrite heart I shall not despise. With tears streaming down his face, Jeriah fell to his knees, crying, O Lord, my God, I have sinned against thee. Purge me, and I shall be clean. Renew a right spirit within me. And the Lord, who is rich in mercy, restored Jeriah. The weight of his guilt was lifted, and he once again walked in the presence of the Lord. He learned that the battle with lust is not won in a single moment but through daily surrender to God. From that day forward, he remained vigilant, leaning on the Lord's strength rather than his own. Conclusion. The lesson of Jeriah. Even the most anointed struggle with the flesh, but victory comes through humility, confession, and reliance on God. The chosen ones are not immune to temptation, but those who return to the Lord shall find mercy and strength. For as it is written, Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Matthew 26:41.